particularly in my tamasha piece, which I do, I start with like this, Namaskar, Ram Ram Paula, and Tumasni, hello and hi. Zamlaka, huh? Namaste, Kurnisa, and Tumasni, एवढंच बस कसं आणि माझ्या आया बायांना लेकी बाळींनो तुमच्या वेळेला कुर्बान. Sometimes I feel why I wrote this sentence, I don't know. मेरी जान कुर्बान है, मेरी माँ बहनों, मेरी बेटियों के लिए. पर जुनून ने जब मुझे चांस दिया थोड़ा सोचने के लिए, तो मुझे लगा जो मुझे औरतों के बारे में काम करने के लिए जो मेरा अंदर से लगाव है, अफेक्शन है, that's the spirit I wrote this sentence कि मेरे माँ बहनों बेटियों आपके ऊपर जान कुर्बान है मेरी. So though I started my theatre that people know from my Savitri piece, before that I thought of this tamasha piece truly, but the way I wrote that script was typical mediocre script, and so I threw it up. And as I was a journalist, I started again working as a journalist for a while. Then I was pregnant, so I was at home, was not doing anything much. And so I thought I must read seriously. And I started reading. For some days, for college, I was in Pune. And I think we should start this.
Yes.
I have brought some of the photos particularly of theatre, but he is Professor Ram Bapat, and without him it was quite difficult for me to do I think anything. I could write script Savitri because of him, so I owe him. He is no more now. He was professor from Pune University, and when I thought of reading something seriously, I was thinking of the women who have worked with particularly Gandhi movement, and so I decided to read seriously. In Pune, that was a practice particularly, to talk to Ram Bapat, ask him books. He used to give me books, and many, not me only, a lot of students are there. And we used to read and discuss. That's the usual practice in Pune and outside Pune also. So, because I was pregnant, sir told me, I will give you book. I will not give you only names. So he used to give me books. I used to read and just discuss. That time I never thought that I will write a theatre piece on this subject. In a discussion with some friends, subject came up of Savitri particularly. Why you are not reading about Savitri seriously? And because I was a journalist, I thought I will read and I will write about Savitri. And so I decided to read. So went to sir, took the books and started in like my tummy, with my tummy I used to go to sir, come back, a discussion with sir. So this process was going on for a while. And one day there was a rape case in Pune. Now every day we are reading about the rape case. But that time I was shocked particularly to read that because it was in Kothur area. And same day I went to meet sir in university. And we were sitting in university canteen and we were discussing about particularly all Jyotiba Phule, Savitribai Phule. Sir's contribution is, he told me, don't look at them as a Mahatma great people. Look at them as a human being and start thinking how they face their life as a human. And that was the biggest contribution of sir. So sir gave me a lot of book, particularly how Pune people used to think in those days. And this type of the things also. So while discussing with sir in canteen, after the discussion I just asked sir, what would have been happened if Savitri would have been alive today? What action she would have been taken, particularly about this rape? And within a moment, I told sir that this is the theatre form. Sir was a very sweet person, very good listener. And particularly when you write something, your artistic process is going on. He is a person who used to give a little push particularly and small questions so you get clarity about the subject. Like that he asked me, what exactly you are thinking about this? So I told Sir, Savitri is going to speak about history, how they live life, and she will comment on today's contemporary situation. So Savitri will come here to talk directly to the audience. And so this is the form. And then he made me believe something great I have conceived. And so I thought this is something interesting and I should think on those lines. And so I started thinking, reading, and so that form, in that discussion only, we fixed that in this manner I am going to write a script. But you see, when you are doing some type of a research work, you keep doing. But for that research work, I went to Delhi once, and there I met Mumbai, because I used to talk to different people. And he asked me, I came to know that you are supposed to write a script and do theatre piece. So I said, yes, sir. So then why you are thinking too much and behaving like you are doing PhD? Just write it and go ahead. So I said, what he is saying is right, and if Madhulima is saying this, I must write this immediately. So I wrote a piece, and which button I have to push? The next button. Pointer. Not pointer. This one. So this is the photo of those days of Savitri. Sushama Deshpande is a lady photographer who has done this work. And how Savitri started. Inside discussion only somebody asked me, you are going to come personally as a Savitri and going to talk to people. So what will be the title of your this theatre piece? So I said, yes, I am Savitri. Should be the title. How it started in a rural rhythm, where Miss Savitri Pai. And so this is Savitri. I did lot of the performances. This. In the rural area particularly. When I decided to do Savitri's performance, it was very clear to me that I am going to perform in rural area. The interesting thing happened that 3rd January 89, I performed first performance, and I declared it that I am going to perform on this day. Nari Samata Manch, Vidya Bar and group, they came forward and they told me that we would love to organize this show. And so they organized the show on 3rd January. And thanks to electricity board, I started the performance and electricity went off for the first performance. And in that performance, before that I decided that I will go to rural area, I am going to perform for rural people, that was fixed. And without light and music, I should be able to perform this performance. But because of that light thing, because for the theatre show, I decided to use music and lights. But otherwise, I should be able to do without light and music was the idea. And for the first show, because electricity went off, I performed without light and music my first show. Interesting part that I finished my performance and electricity came. So thanks to electricity board, in the first performance I came to know, without light and music, I could reach to audience. And so after that, I never used any music or any light, because I used to go in different places, different areas, and I used to perform in groups on the farm, under a tree, on a trailer. So a lot of experience of particularly this type of the performances. And when I was talking to Samira also, that time I remember a lot of things particularly how these women particularly behave, because when I started this performance, after few days I came to know in urban area it is a different, because urban area people are prepared to see Savitri's performance. They come for the performance and they see that performance. But in rural area, people are not prepared to see. So sometimes if I start the performance, in their mind they must have thought something different, that how theatre piece will be. And so the response was not good in the beginning. So I should do something about it. And slowly I developed a style. I used to take my chota makeup box, particularly very small, and put my mirror in front of me, start doing makeup and start talking to the audience. Do you know what you are going to see here? Why I have come? Why I am putting this tikka? These type of the questions I have started asking to the people and making them comfortable. Particularly, my childhood was from the farmhouse I used to stay, complete up to graduation. So I am very used to farm language. I know all the small things, particularly on the farm. And so I used to ask questions like this: where are you going? गाय को पानी दिखाने के लिए चली गई क्या? So these type of the questions I used to ask, and they used to get shocked that this lady from urban area, they used to feel she knows each and everything and she learned a lot about it. So naturally, slowly they become comfortable to see the performance, and I could get that knack to how I should make them comfortable and how I should prepare them to see this performance. When I started performance, in between I started asking questions. Like there is one sentence particularly: बाईच्या नातीने घर बरं, घरातली चूल बरी, चुलीतली लाकड बरी, हातात फुकणी बरी, फुकणीतून फुकणार आपला जीव बरा. औरत होने के नाते घर बला, घर का चूल्हा बला, चूल्हे में जलती हुई लकड़ी भरी, लकड़ी जलाने के लिए हाथ में फूकनी भरी और फूकने से फूकने वाला अपना जीव भरा. So after this sentence, I used to look at somebody and I used to ask, क्यों मावशी ऐसा ही होता है ना? So it started helping to cut their thinking process about the story, and they started thinking about the content of the particularly their lives. So how this performance started particularly about Savitri, and it's with me last 27 years. But I would like to show you next slide, particularly about the Hindi performance. This slide, this photo is sent by Junoon Team Foundation, because these days I am doing performance for them, more for them. But in the beginning, I remember Mallika Sarabhai asked me to do the Hindi performance. I must tell this. Very funny, I met her on the train, and she was going to Pune for some performance, and very pathetic thing for me that I could not recognize her. And she was talking about the Ganpati show, and so I asked, what's your name, please? She said, I'm Mallika Sarabhai. I said, oh yeah. And then naturally she asked me, who are you? So I said, I'm Sushama Deshpande. She said, oh, Sushama Deshpande, you are the same who is doing Savitri. Please give your phone number first and your address. I'm searching you for a few days, and please come for the performance in Durban. That time Nadrani was not there. So the first performance she organized, particularly for the Vikram Sarabhai International Festival. And after that, I started doing Hindi performances. About Hindi script, I would like to tell you one story, that I was thinking of doing it Hindi. So script was ready when Mallika asked me. But for a long time I was thinking of doing Hindi Savitri performance. Nobody was asking is one thing. But another thing, somebody did Hindi script for me. And that script was not very interesting. I thought when I read the script, I felt that this is particular with the script. Some Hindi aurat has come and she has started doing the performance. So I was little upset about it. One day in Pune at Bharatnatyam Mandir, Vijay Tendulkar was there, and in Marathi theatre you know all, everybody. So Tendulkar asked me, Sushma, I came to know that you are going to do Savitri in Hindi. So I said, yeah, for the cause I am doing planned this, that I will do it in Hindi. So he said, then what happened? So I said, the translation is not good, so I'm not very happy. So who has done? He asked me. So I told him. So he said, you're doing the wrong thing. You translate yourself. So I said, I do not speak Hindi and I don't know that much Hindi that I should translate it. So he said, absolutely right. So you are going to do mistake. And that mistake should be there in that script. And so if you will do mistake and if you will use that, that will be something fantastic. And so after he said this, I did translation. With some help, of course, because some of the words you have to take from Hindi. Like in Marathi, Balanpadi, you can't use Balanpadi, so you have to use Jajki, delivery. So they have started particularly delivering home for the girls, wedded girls. So naturally, he said this and then I decided to do it on my own. And so with one friend of mine, Anita Karkar, I did that on my own. And I started Hindi performances. Marathi performances response particularly, one point I would like to tell you that in Maharashtra, in some rural area, people were not knowing the name of the Jyotiba and Savitri. So sometimes it hurts you and sometimes you feel that you have to do this work much more. In Hindi, my experience is completely different. People are very eager to know about Jyotiba and Savitri. At the moment they know about Savitri only particularly Jyotiba's wife. But they are eager to know. And so after the performance we keep discussions. Like in Marathi, all Marathi audience they talk a lot about it, they ask many questions. But Hindi audience, the way they ask questions is something different than Marathi. Means Marathi people, they will ask particularly about some incident or reaction, particularly what happened in some cases. But Hindi people, that I was telling some journalists who came to me that after one performance in Delhi, I remember, one old lady came to me like this. She looked at me and she told me, "Khoon ka rishta laga tere Savitri ke saath." Then one lady asked me a question that was very interesting, which will never happen in Maharashtra. ये तेरे ज्योतिबा जो है अच्छे हैं, लेकिन वो मदद करते थे सावित्री को? मैंने कहा कहाँ? तो घर में काम करने के लिए? मैंने कहा I don't think so. I haven't read like that anything. No reference like that. So they said, तो तेरी सावित्री मुझे पूरी अच्छी लगी, ज्योतिबा आदमी अच्छे लगे. So this type of the reactions, you get shocked. Recently I was doing the performance for Azim Premji Foundation and one girl came after the performance to meet me. And she told, it's very difficult to talk in front of people, so I have come personally to talk to you. I remember her name Yashoda. And she said that you mentioned in your performance that because these Angrez people have come here, Jyotiba could learn. And because of that, he started doing his social aspect work. So I said, yes. How you came to know? I asked her. She mentioned me that. Pause. And she said, बहुत अच्छा हुआ अंग्रेज आ गए. So I was never expected. And before that, there was a discussion, lot of particularly, or some RSS group was there for the performance. So they were asking me typical questions like that, you talk the way, have you done comment on Hindu people? Why not Jyotiba has done anything for Muslim people? Like such questions he asked me. So lot of discussions was going on that line. So she came quiet till then, and after that she came and she told me this. So the discussions is always very, very interesting, and people get connected to the Savitri. They usually do this type of the big photos and they put there. Like this, they have sent this, I can't do this, such things. But some Muslim Premji people did send me this. This type of the one, just to understand that how they accept Savitri particularly and how much they are interested and how they organize particularly show. "27 years is a long way, so I have a lot of experience. People ask me sometimes that, do you have that particular courage to do and intensity to do? So I always say the day I will lose that intensity, I will stop. To be true, I remember, I was thinking of closing down the show at one point because we were doing big performances. And that time Prithvi Festival organized shows particularly for the social cause. Prithviraj Kapoor's centenary. And these people asked me to do Savitri. I remember I talked to Sanjana. I'm thinking of not doing Savitri now. So Sanjana, don't do this. Though you will not do, it's okay. But don't mention anybody that you are not doing it. Keep doing. And that time I did particularly for that festival and I kept going. Till today I am performing. Not much the way I used to perform, but till today I am performing. These days I am doing more Hindi performances than Marathi because in Marathi other girls have started different performances. So in the discussion, whatever you have question, we can discuss more about Savitri in that. So after that, this is my another performance is about Tamasha woman. तिच्या आईची गोष्ट अर्थात माझ्या आठवणीचा गड. Just I gave this script to do another role, but I used to do this performance for a long time, not like Savitri, but after some few years. This experience was totally different experience for me because as a journalist I was very curious about Tamasha woman. When you go around and watch Tamasha, and that in a young age, you are very curious, so I am going to see Tamasha, and that courage is, and that typical all things were there. So I saw Tamasha and I felt, as I mentioned in the beginning, I wrote the script and I kept it aside. Then at one point of Savitri, this thought came in my mind. I remember I used to take interval for Savitri's performance those days, and this came in my mind, Tamasha show, I should do this in a way that, yes, this is my life. Tumhare baap ka kya hai? Like that, this approach should be there. So then I will be able to do a good script. So I started again doing research. So research, I never interviewed single woman of Tamasha. Tamasha is of two types, Dolki Fred and Sangeet Bari. I concentrated on Sangeet Bari. The reason behind it, in Sangeet Bari they have their community rules, Zat Panchayat. And so in that, they are not allowed to marry if they start doing Tamasha. But whatever life she earns, she gave to the men. And this type of the life they face, their business is flirting. So naturally, in flirting, they have relationships, they have children, they take care of their children. So these all things are there. So the women are very interesting, very interesting. So I started spending time with those women. I used to go at night in theatre in the beginning. I used to ask them to do lavani, spending little money for that. Little means 10 rupees there those days, not much. And we used to ask, do lavani. And in the morning I used to go and tell them that it was very great. How I established a connection with them. The first day I remember, next day when I went to Tamasha theatre, I could not recognize that woman. The last night, the way she was doing some notorious thing, and the next day like she, namaskar, yeah. So I was completely shocked watching her. So I said, oh, yesterday I saw her. The confidence level of those women is fantastic, fantastic. They have this complex that we are not married, so we don't have social status. They have that in mind all the time. But they understand who is exploiting me. They understand, they allow them to exploit because they wanted to earn money. They take care of family. And these small things I could understand with living with them, spending time with them. Because of that I could understand exactly their life. And then I decided one story based on their experiences, but one story in which particularly her daughter has become a journalist, and this lady, she got a Sangeet Natak Academy Award, and that daughter, being a journalist, she comes to mother and she asked mother that I want to write about you, mom. So she said, why? You never liked my love, you never liked this atmosphere, and you learned because you wanted to do something else, and why you have come here to ask me? So she said, yes, I used to be angry, but now I feel that you are great, and I must understand your life, and I must understand your small things, your art, and I must write about you. So that lady said, no, I'm not going to talk to you. I'm an unmarried woman, and I have children. So if you will write about me, you will become great on my life. Why should I allow you to become great? I will not allow you to do whatever you want to do. Then that daughter is the daughter of that tamasha woman, so she is also smart. So she said, you have a fear, that's why you are not ready to talk. So she said, no, I don't have a fear, I have lived my life. So she has that guts particularly. So she said, but I am not going to talk to Ratna, her daughter, but I have come to talk to you. And so I am going to do Tija Aichi Goshta, means her mother's story, means Majha Athvanincha Bhat, my memories of my life. And then she speaks her story, she remembers her relationship, her clientele, her mother relationship, her father, different things she remembers till her death, when her mother's death. She speaks all things, and little bit singing, little bit dance. Writing script was a very interesting, I think, portion, particularly in my life. The way I spent time with them was something fantastic. 6 months, they were very stubborn. They were not ready to speak a single word. Afterwards, they told me, we used to say, Chada, let's go home. That was their style to speak each other. But slowly they got confidence. But from the first day, I told them clearly, I am going to do theatre. It was not like Savitri, that I never thought of doing play. While reading, I got that form. But here, it was decided, I am going to do one-person performance particularly, and I did that. This is the group particularly of VAM group from Sangli. This play is about the sex workers. This I did with sex workers, not only about the sex workers. And this is the group of VAMP and Sangram. VAMP is a Vesha Anyay Mukti Parishad, their organization. They have taken this name VAMP. And this was very interesting challenge, because play I did with community. Doing play with community is very different type of a process. They are sex workers, but and their children are there. Whoever boys you are watching their children, they did the role of men. So this portion, I put this photo. I did Savitri Bande for them, and the first time reason was something different to do the performance for them. Previously, whenever I do the performance, I used to ask whatever the group is, that forget my acting. We are going to talk about what exactly you got out of this performance. So question I used to ask. After this show, I asked, we are going to talk about the content of the play today. So you are going to talk about my acting. To teach them acting, I use Savitri's performance here. And very interestingly, one artist said that when you do Jyotiba, you are Jyotiba. When you do Savitri, you are Savitri. When you do Jyotiba's father, you are Jyotiba's father. How you do such a different roles, but you make us to believe that you are that person. So I said the same thing you need to do in your play. Though you are a sex worker, while acting you are not believing that I am a sex worker. You are thinking how to act. And so you have to believe in what exactly you do. And other discussions about the gestures and other things we did after this particular performance. This is, I think, show you Prithvi, not Prithvi, maybe Prithvi, I don't remember. But particularly this show, women are getting ready. They are here, they are playing cards, that's their usual thing. And I think after the first show they were very tense, and so making them comfortable. And this was the big set particularly about this. This lady was the heroine particularly, and all others are sex workers. They do their own role. Teaching those group was very interesting task, because they were not understanding exactly what I am saying in the beginning. Slowly I learned how to teach them. I don't know whether we have a photo about. No, I don't think so. There is a photo about. This is one girl who was sex worker. In the play she does the role of a school girl. So she was unable to do the way she should do. She was having a monologue. I haven't done script. Script was, I got the script in my hand. You have to do this. So when I started telling her, you have an anger, Sangeeta. You have a, so she, yeah. So little bit 1% anger she could increase. So long process was going on and she was unable. I remember the head of the organization, she told me, just kick her out and you take somebody else. But I said no, whoever is there, I'm going to do with that group only. One day, I was spending time in the evening in Delhi, because this our hall was next to Delhi. So nobody uses that hall. So we were able to put our set and do the rehearsals. After rehearsals, she was talking about her experience in school. How teachers ask about nahi ladki aagi hai kya, gadi mein, about kids, how they behave. She was very upset, very upset. So next day when we were doing rehearsals, I took her away. I gave a lot of abusive words, lot of gali, and I said, you must be thinking Sangeeta like this when your teacher speaks like this. She said, yeah, I feel like that only what you are saying. So I said, keep that here and start talking. And it was a shock to me. She turned back, and the way she came out, particularly for this performance, was fantastic. Means all the boys, they came there and started looking at her, and long way she was doing monologues and people were crying, and so it was a very interesting long process particularly. You see this lady, when we were doing a zero show, here is particularly room and she is doing her own business there. And I told her, there is no wall here. So she used to come out from that inside. And I told, small things you have to take. You can't keep your class here. You can't come through here. You have to listen like this. And for the zero show, she came from there out. war. So after the performance, I said, why you did this, Bhimava? So she said, I was supposed to come from this, but Chanda was not giving place to go. So I decided to come out because you will get angry if I'm not here for the next one. So very, very interesting thing. For me, it was more interesting because before this I was doing one-person show. After two performances of one-person show, and here 24 artists were there. So it was very, very, very interesting. It's a typical pawn shop which they have usually. This is my interest photo. Dubey came for the performance in Prithvi. To be true, Dubey was not interested in coming. Shanta Gokle, she came for the performance. And Shanta hired him. You have to come, you have to see. And then I went and I did blah 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 blah, and I said that you have to come. So he said, I don't like that social thing. So I said, why you decided it's a social thing? Though it is a social thing, it can be aesthetically interesting. And you should come. A person like you should see. So he came for the performance. And after the performance, very interesting comment he did. I thought I will forget that, so I can run this photo particularly. He told those all women that you give pleasure to men, that's your work. But do you know what pleasure you gave me today? so it was very, what you can say, I was thrilled particularly after this comment because I was knowing that he was not coming for the performance before. So this was after the performance somebody gave us, and so all together group. So this all group, they are 6 persons. Very one interesting thing I must tell you. Previous? One second. Sorry. Okay, thank you. Very one interesting thing, remember, I showed that heroine. She was having a young hero in this. In the beginning I asked them, do you have a young boys in your lives and all those things? So they said yes. And they both were unable to do love. And I was explaining her all the time. You have to do this, you have to do that. And she was unable. One day I got angry. So I said, क्या चल रहा है यार? प्यार का काम करते हो, प्यार नहीं कर सकते. वो भी सिखाना पड़ेगा मुझे, कैसे करना है? So I fired like anything. So I don't have the photo of that boy, and he came in a very nervous manner and he said, Madam, बहुत difficult है. मैंने कहा क्या difficult है? Love करना. मैंने कहा क्यों? He said, मासी बुलाता हूँ उसको. She was having this problem and he was having this problem, and so then I explained all things that this is not Masi, this is theatre, Masi is different, theatre is different, and these are all things I explained, and then slowly they could start doing love particularly. So but for each and every show, after the show we used to have a lot of discussion in these shows also. After this show, I did Bayadaru. This is the play particularly about the women saints. Many people, they have a reaction, after such thing, directly saints, why you came to that subject? I took this subject, the reason behind it was particularly, women saints have their poetry which is quite ahead from today's given situation. For this feminist view of thought, they are quite ahead. From 13th century to 19th century, the way they have not even written, in Marathi the word is Rachleya. So, particularly they haven't taken pen and wrote that poetry. It's in their mind they have decided what exactly. So, the poetry, they have used this god Vitthal medium of expression. And if they say that I'm going to meet Vitthal, I'm going out, people used to say, okay, if she's going out for the Vitthal, she's allowed to go. And many of them have expressed in a way that I have become prostitute for Vitthal. This type of the expressions they have given in their poetry. And when I was reading this, I felt I must take this poetry to audience, and so I wrote this play, Baya Darugad. Baya Darugad is a line of Eknath, Sant Eknath. But women poetry, nobody has taken up. Again the same thing. Snaneshwar is a big person, big poet, Tukaram is a big poet, Eknath is a big poet. But this patriarchal, whatever the thing, nobody discusses more about women poetry. And they are very strong. So I said, I must do something about the women poetry. And that's why we did this play and use that, particularly this, the Bari is going on these days to Alandi. So on that backdrop we did play that women are going to from Alandi to Pandharpur, and in between they expresses about different characters. So a lot of dance is there, a lot of music is there, and particularly this type of the change only used to be there, and to make a sari. So this type of the thing we did in Baya Darugad, and Devdatta Sable has given the music for that, and he has done the great job, because music is particularly Atma in this particular play. And so these all girls, they enjoy. You can see the energy on the stage, a lot of energy on the stage, particularly in this play. After Baya Darugad, again I went to Sanadi. To do another play, title afterwards came, but the title is Hum Aur Tum Sab. This is Shabana. She is a sex worker, fantastic woman. Talking with those women about men is something out of the world. so I have a lot of experience about that. So Shabana, usually in the rehearsal, if you give 5 minutes break, they usually start with cards, which I have used in the first play. So this is the play. Particularly in this play, we restricted the number, not 24 like that. And here, process particularly how they were before and how they have come till today. This is how they started particular band, how they came to know about human rights. That whole story they speak in that. Now you can see this type of the structures. So throughout the play, they used to put here, then change of location, put in different way, take hotel. So different things, different locations we could do in this play. In the first play, I taught them to listen because they were not able to listen even. They used to speak their lines and look here, there, whatever is going on. So how to walk, how to listen in the theatre, these all things they came to know in the first play. And in this play they started asking me, body language ठीक है? So I said yes, body language people ठीक है. So all their experiences, it was very, very interesting process of Hum Aur Tum Sab. After that I did the play Chitra Goshti. Chitra Goshti is a play based on Sudhir Patwardhan's paintings. And this is Sudhir's painting of himself. So for a long time, it was a long process of doing the script particularly. And this portrait, he gave me how it should go. So throughout the play, Sudhir is talking to Sudhir. Is the particular form of this play. And there is a theatre behind these particular paintings. So that made me to do this theatre. Sudhir said yes, that is thanks to Sudhir always. And we started choosing some of the paintings. Shanta was in that process, choosing paintings and discussing about those paintings. I'm very much fond of his paintings, one thing, but I was watching his family fiction once, and when I watched here in Mumbai, it was okay. I was in Delhi for the performance, and there was his exhibition there. So I went for the exhibition, and I don't know, while watching, I felt there is a theatre in each and every painting. So I thought of doing, and I did a lot of the plays with Avishkar. So thanks to Avishkar, they got ready particularly to do such plays, because it was long process also, and a lot of money they have to spend, because I said I'm not going to project the paintings. I have paintings as a character. So we have to make big paintings, and painting will go from here to there, there to here, anywhere. So different paintings we have used in that. But that all paintings, how to do that, it was a long process of Chitra Goshti. And like this, some of the paintings I have brought here to show what exactly it was. Like Lower Parel, Sudhir has given a character to Lower Parel as a human character. And so these all characters you see here that we used to perform, particularly by presenting this painting. So to make it easy, I did Ovada on this. Devadatta Savitri, he wrote for me, and he sung for me, and these all characters come through Ovada and some. So like this, we decided to do. Silence, at a certain age, there is no dialogue between particular husband and wife here. And I wrote something, I could get some of the poetry of this type of the thing of Vasantabali Dahake. And in this particular thing, there is, both are there, their expression is there, but nobody is talking. And only sound is there. A lot of sound I use particularly in this play. And this piece used to be very hilarious, because the way that girl, character of this lady used to do, and it was fun. And there was very reaction particularly about that we should not do only sound, and nobody is going to say anything in this piece. So I said, I want to do this, I want to do this. People can tell me, fuck off. So I will do it in this manner only. So like that, sorry for word, but this is particularly shot the way we see today. Sudhir is a painter of human beings, and so naturally these all characters used to be there, and he used to do theatre. In the beginning, you sometimes see that particular painting you see, or at the end sometimes you get that painting. But different characters, different people, a lot of group was there in that particular Chitra Goshti. This play I did in Pune. The title was To Ite dash dash dash, he, she, it dash dash dash. This play was with LGBT community. And this is Zamir Kamre, he and me. We both together did that work. A group, we announced that we are going to do this play. And whoever come there, with that group we did the play. In the beginning they said that we are going to do our stories, but I will do his, he will do his, like that we will do. But at the end, they said no, I am going to do my story. And everybody did their own story, particularly in this play. And so, some of the photos Like that, Zamir used to be in sari and I used to be in pant. That was the basic idea of it to be in that. So after that I did Aidan. Aidan is completely different than his orchids. Aidan is based on Urmila Baba's autobiography. Urmila is a well-known Dalit writer. Credit I always give of this play to Ramu Ramanathan. The reason behind it, Ramu was after me for years and years that you should do Aidan. And to be true, I was not interested in the beginning because it's a book and how to do a play, because I read book before and Ramu used to ask me that who else than you, Sushama? So he used to ask me, and at one point I felt that I must think. So thanks to Ramu for that. And I asked Urmila said yes. And then I decided to present a book, not theatre. I'm not thinking of writing a theatre piece out of it. But I will do completely book, the way she has written. And so the big task was editing of the book. That was a big task. Then her mother used to do Aidan. Aidan is this bamboo. And so I use this bamboo particularly set for that. And I took 3 girls. These 2 girls were supposed to be in the play in the beginning, but I have this third one. The reason behind it was I was not getting form in the beginning. We were reading, we were doing editing, these all girls were involved in the process. And at one day I felt strongly that Urmila's mother has written, I used to do Aidan, bamboo work. And that Urmila has written about her that she used to do this. And that was not only for earning, but it was stress buster for her. For me, she has written, I started writing. So she used to view bamboo, I used to view words. And it was again stress buster for me. For that I started writing more. So I thought in theatre also there should be weaving. And for the weaving there should be 3 girls. And so 3 girls I have used. They do any character. Everybody is Urmila, everybody is Urmila's husband, everybody is mother, everybody is any character, they just change from here to there. Complete meaning is there. The way, so it's a play like that, Aidan. So and here she is Urmila and schoolgirls. So here she is a Muslim lady, and this was the same. And this door I have used for different causes. Sometimes coming out, going out, anything. So this is a zopri. So this type of the things, with the Ramu's support I could do this all, because when I told him Ramu that I want to use bamboo thing, but I'm not getting exactly what it should be. He took me to IIT to see bamboo work. And then I decided what exactly I want in that play. Like that we have done the work of Aidan. It's so wordy, but it's okay. Thank you. Was it too boring? No. You have to say no, that's that. Please feel free to ask any questions or
Thank you very much, first of all, for the lovely and brief journey that you've given us. I was curious to ask this question. I've seen these 2 sides of yours. One is an activist, one is an actor. So I don't know, I just wanted to ask you, what is it that inspires you? The activist inspires you to be an actor or a theatre maker, or does theatre making inspires you, keep inspiring you to be an activist? So what is the inspiration? Is it acting or theatre making or
theatre inspires me a lot, to be true. And I think I'm a conscious person. So I see the society and I feel such subject.
You don't look yourself as an activist? just a conscious person?
I love to write than actor.
No, I'm saying activist.
Activist.
Yeah.
Yes, I am a part of activist, but not the way you are expecting.
Right.
Means I'm not that type of activist. I love to do it through theatre. But one thing is clear, I don't believe in propaganda theatre, not at all. I never did that. So I always say that whatever you do theatre, it should be very interesting and should be very rich aesthetically. Then you can hold people. So I remember, I haven't mentioned here, I have done one piece. Jyoti Mhavsekar has written one piece. The title was Samate Kade Vaatsa. So it's typical social theme, and it's a particular history about women movement. And she gave me, she said that girls should read it properly. And so, can you help in that? When I read it, I said, can we perform this? So she said, why not? So that paper, I did it in theatre. As if the little treatment I changed. In the beginning, those all girls, they come on the stage, they tell, we know the history of the women movement. And we think, you should also know. So let's talk about it. How they start. And different things through their theatre forms, creating images and creating, I could do it. And it was very interesting. So, I think even something written, particularly she wrote it to read in front of people. But it could take more interesting form if you feel so. But mainly social organizations, they do propaganda theatre, in which I am not interested. I said I am not going to do that.
Thank you.
So,
Some portion I will do afterwards.
yes.
अभी करो, बाद में करना.
नहीं, बाद में नोबडी ask a question after.
That's small portion I will do.
But then how do you, so the question still remains that if you're interested in making a social, any kind of intervention through theatre, how do you feel your use of theatre helps that? I mean, you don't believe in propaganda, you don't believe in message. So what does the theatre do?
The theatre, when I started doing Savitri, as I mentioned that what happened when I was working as a journalist, I remember I wrote a very interesting story in those days, particularly about the land issue in Mauritius. So, chori hui jameen, like that. And it was very interesting and intensely I did in those days. I went there, I stayed there in hotel. So, people were very worried about me. Will somebody come and help me? Was the question for them. So I said, I'm from rural area, I know nobody will do anything to me, and I went there. And after that, I felt something should happen when you write such things. Nothing happened. One day, I met Deshpande, well-known writer of Marathi, particularly literature. And he met me, he said, Sushama, काय छान लिहिलंयस. It's a very good piece. So I said, Bhai Kaka, that's all. It's a part of my career. I have written great article. What happened afterwards? So I said, no, if you want to go to the people, our people are illiterate, so we have to take some different form and go to the people. So when Savitri came in mind, I decided to take Savitri to rural area. I used to say, I do theatre journalism. So this is a theatre journalism I want to take to her, to that audience. And very consciously I did that. Like taking performances there, talking to the audience. Women used to say after the performance, अगले साल आजा, भाषण करके दिखाती हूँ. So this type of the reactions. So it was very conscious effort. But now you see, whatever Pule has done the work, any movement to imitate, they are pioneer of that movement. Till adoption, whatever. If somebody will ask me that now you do only work for the adoption, no, I will do another theatre piece. face. So that type of, I think somebody should work on this. And so I do this type of the things. Sometimes this happens that some organization they ask to do some theatre piece, and if you do, afterwards they do all propaganda in that and they change it. So it happens. But even then, I think you should keep going. Like these sex workers, they were interested taking their life to the people. That was their interest. So naturally, they do whatever you teach. They haven't changed anything. So it is very interesting. Means doing theatre with theatre artists is a very different type of a thing. And doing theatre with community is a totally different thing.
The next performance and performance are now.
Savitri?
All
Idol performances are going on. I think on 16th only afternoon it's in Borivali, mini theatre. Idol also means I don't like to do, but that I do here. Means if somebody will ask me, each and every performance you should see in original language.
Yes.
But as Savitri I did in Hindi, same thing I done in Hindi also. So here the performance is in Marathi. The same like Mallika asked for Hindi Savitri, Aditi Desai from Ahmedabad, she asked for Hindi show of Aidan. So Aidan is on 16. Savitri, I do little bit. I don't do much performances of Savitri now. And so most of the time now I will be going to Chhattisgarh to perform Savitri. So I do Hindi performances more. I'm not saying I don't do Marathi at all, but very rare. If somebody from rural area, for the girls somebody will ask me, then without thinking anything I say yes, I will do that. Because that is a very sensitive audience, girls. Interesting part is when I started in 89, the girls who have seen the performances, now their daughter are of that age. So now they send their daughters when they get to know. You go, you see, and they tell me that time I decided, if I will have a daughter, I am going to teach her. So I always feel this is a very, social change is a very slow process. But very happy that this much I can inject.
That's huge.
No questions. If no questions, performance. Performance a little bit portion I do, not much.
You want some designs after that?
Savitri's performance anywhere I do, so that's not the issue. Could you be more? In the beginning, I was using 3 levels, and I was for the theatre performance usually, but I stopped slowly. And so, different levels, their home, their road, these type of the things I was using. But slowly I settled down on 3 chairs, and so I started using only 3 chairs afterwards. And like when I perform in rural area, what happened usually that once I decided to perform in one village, and too many people came for the performance. So it was unable to see for the people. So I looked at here, there I saw one trolley there, tractor trolley. So I said, come on, we'll go up. I will do performance on trolleys so you all can see. One very well-known theatre director asked me once one question that Sushama, when we do theatre, we are used to one thing, when turn left, there is a chair and you are going to sit there. What do you do if there is no chair? Because you do like this. So I said, then I turn right. because sometimes there is one mic. Sometimes everything is there. So now, last few years, I think at least for 10 years, I can use lapel mic. But before that, it was not possible to use lapel mic also. So whatever available there, you have to use that. And I think we have that thing that feed in computer order de do kya ye hai. So it start working like that. So I will do some portion, particularly how Jyotiba start teaching Savitri. Like a small, very light portion in a way and very serious portion in a way. Savitri used to say Shedji's. Savitri used to say Shedji to Jyotiba. In the play, I use that word quite comfortably. I don't think the way I have used, which she used to call, but for the theatre purpose, I used that. So, Shedji bahar gaye and he is coming home. Marathi chalega na? So he has come home, particularly taking all books and slate and all things, and he decided, I'm going to teach her Savitri first, because he made that Farar Madam in Nagar, and she said her sentence is औरतों को सिखाते नहीं, अपनी औरतों को बीवी को सिखाते नहीं, ये बहुत बुरी बात है. So you have to teach your wives. If your wife will learn, she will change family. But you will learn, you will change only yourself. That was her idea. And Jyotiba took it. And Jyotiba thought of teaching Savitri. And he has come home. Sheetji घालतात. त्या भाकरी भाजी करून चुलावर होती. चुलीला पोतेला करतात. त्या चिरले उठत लई तेजी. आता तशी मला हाका मारायला लागली. म्हणलं आले भाकर झाली कालून बी झाले. तर म्हणतात कसं भाकर नको तूच ये. बया काय झालंय काय शेटजींना? काय बघितलं
शिकवणार आहे
काय
लिवाया वाचाया
होय का? कुणाला?
तुला
काय
शब्द
मला वाचा येईल. तुम्ही वाचता कसं? लिवा येईल. शेटजी ते हसायलाच लागले. त्यांनी पाटी घेतली आणि त्यावर लिहिलं शेटजी आणि म्हणगिरी वाचा. मी लाजन चुर झालं. म्हणलं काय नवरा तर म्हणगिरी वाचा. क ख ग घ क ख ग घ त थ द ध क ख द ध काना मात्रा येंडी उकारा कालंत्योध्यास कला काना काका बबल हात म्हणाला एक टाक. पण ते समोर बसलेलं म्हणलं शीटची हात धरा. तशी डोळं वाटारलं लिवते मुकाट बेकंबे बेदने चार मुद्दाम लिवलं चुकीचं. तशी हात धरून फिरवायला लागलं माझ्या संग. मी त्याच्याकडेच बघत बसली. म्हणलं काय माझा नवरा का माझा पंतोजी वाटायचं. शीटजीने म्हणावं
जाऊ हात दुखला असेल ठेव आता.
पण शीटजी म्हणायचं
सावित्री हात दुखला तरी चालेल पण एवढं पण झालंच पाहिजे.
म्हणलं का उपयोग शिक्षणाचा? शिकणारा आम्ही आमचं तुमचंच असं म्हणलं. तशी हसायला लागली. पण मी लिहायला लागली वाचायला लागली. कारण शीटजी मला वाचून दावायचे. अधिक शब्द अक्षर वाक्य डोळ्याचं फेर करत होती. शब्दातली गाडी लिहा वाटायची. स्वतःचं नाव लिहायची. त्यावर हात फिरवायची. उखाण म्हणायची. ते लिहायची. आणि बाहेर माणसं बडबड करायची. काय होणार आहे शिकून लेली बामाच्या पुढची. मी लिहायची. आधी त्यांचा प्रेमाचा शब्द मिळतो पण हळूहळू गोडी लागली. लिहायची वाचायची. काही दिस गेलं आणि मामाने त्यासनी म्हणायला लागलं ज्योती आधी आपल्याला शिकायची परवानगी नाही. तू सावित्रीला शिकवतोस आबा ते बी माणूसच आहे ना भय पण बाईला शिकण्याचा अधिकार नाही पोरा शिकून बाया चंचल होत्या दुष्ट होत्या अविचारी होत्या आबा सावित्री शिकून दाखवले समजा खोटं आहे म्हणून अरे बाईच्या जातीने शिकलं तर पत्रात बाई येते बाबा बाबा कसं येत आहे अरे आल्यावर पुन्हा कसं बघायचं कशाला ईश्वरची परीक्षा घ्यायला खरं समजायला का पण पोरा मामजीला बोलवा ना मामजी निघून गेलं मामजी म्हणतात ते खरं आहे अगं तुला एवढं लिवाय शिकवलं वाचाय शिकवलं तर तू तेच विचारतेस नाही तुम्ही माझा हात हातात घेऊन बसा कशा पाहिजे मला लई आवडते कुणाचं मला सोडून दूर जाऊ नका सावित्री काय म्हणते ही माणसं उगाचच भडकतात तुला बघा मी हाय ना तुझ्या संग पण तू दिस मिनिट का ना वाचता घालवलं रातभर ते मला समजावत होतं वाचलेला आठवण करून देत होतं सकाळी उजाडली ती जळबटे टाकली निश्चित झालं पक्क ठरलं मी शिकणार मी लिहणार मी वाचणार
No, we would like to see the entire performance. That's what.
We have to,
Yeah.
we have to make a costume at some point. The entire performance happen again.
Yes.
Yeah.
Love to.
performance we can do that's not right
It's very soul stirring. It
Yes.
just touches you, you know.
sometimes we do
No, I'd definitely love to see this.
I see. Nobody's leaving. You're waiting for more. You just give us a little taste of it.
Are there any recordings of any of your performances?
you see I haven't done it the way I should do I'm very poor these people are very I think they must be fed up with me ye nahi hai mere paas wo nahi hai mere paas for the publicity matters they used to ask like that I should have done this but I haven't
I think then you to do a good recording.
no Azim Premji has done but they do Hindi
That's okay. We'd like to.
they have put a lot of things if you go on Azim Premji's foundation site you will see a lot of performances
Okay.
lot of performances so they have done that in their way but I think if we need to video it should be proper
Yes.
means not the way they have done.
Yeah, with like a multiple camera.
Yeah,
Different
good
camera
properly.
angles.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking of doing that and I hope it come true before I become old one before that I should be able to do because a friend of mine is after me you do though I have given this piece to another girl to do they all asked me that you should do Tamasha and Savitri and record it properly.
Yeah, that would be great. Love
I
to see.
think I will try to do that as early as possible. But we can do the performance anytime.
Yes.
How long is each performance? I would say.
Now Savitri's performance is quite short I have done. Before it was 2 hours and 10 minutes performance but now 1 hour and 10 minutes. The reason behind it is attention span is not good.
Yeah.
So you can't go for a long time.
Even in rural areas, attention span is down.
In the rural areas, you will laugh the way I do the performances. Then sometimes they start doing noise. So I say, "मैं यहाँ क्यों आई हूँ? हाँ? I know I can do good acting." तो serial नहीं करती यहाँ आती हूँ. These sort of things I fire them. So some of my friends when they used to ask me, "जे जो लोग देखने आते हैं उनको fire क्या करते हो?" तो that's the dialogue I give. And they then sit down because they don't understand exactly sometimes.
It's a different kind of performance.
So
And the Tamasha performance now?
Tamasha performance is of 2 hours. It's more than 2 hours. So Tamasha now, when Pune group is after, though you have given to somebody, You have to do it for us. We will call. I ask her to do that. Rajeshri Bad is doing that. She is a very good artist. So he said, whatever you have to do. So one performance, I told them I will do for you. So in Pune. So they told me that we will do 2 camera setup shooting at least for that.
Oh, lovely.
So let's see. In that performance I will be in October.
There's no put on in Mumbai.
Yeah, we can do that.
Yeah, we definitely want to see her. So.
Savitri is a sober character.
Yeah.
And Tamasha is completely very different type of character. So, 2 different moods and 2 different things are there in those characters. Like my very close friend used to ask me, is it a reaction of Savitri? This performance, which is not. So, even because of 2 one-person performances, people used to ask me one question again and again that I am specializing in one performance, one-person performance, and I am going to do only one-person performance. So I said it can't be like that because the demand of the subject it comes with that particularly how it should be. Like I mentioned about Aidan. Aidan I decided to do 2 girls, but the form which I got was with 3 girls. Right. I remember the first show we did in NCPA. I was very tense, because all the time, all characters, all girls are doing and no change in costume and nothing, how it will go. So while rehearsal, it was okay. Once I called Ramu. Ramu said, it's holding. Don't worry, Sushama, it's holding. Even then I said, no, I'm tense. I remember on the day, Ramu said, I may not come for the performance. So I said, you have to come. Then afterwards, I said, why have I said this? What he would have done? And for the performance, I was sitting like this. And I told my artist also that this may be the last show. Because if people will not accept this will be the last show. But interesting part, people understand after watching weaving and all those things, people understand. So that was really interesting. So they accepted in a really well manner. We have to stop. I can speak like this.
Thank you so very much.